Welcome in, guys. Happy Tuesday. Got a nice little card coming up today. Yesterday was a losing day. Tough break on the Mets. That really is what swung our night. Had the Mets. They couldn't pull it out. Give up 3 runs, 1 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. If they hold on, would have put us in the green. Still a pair of winners. Astros, 2 units. Dog, get it done big time in that revenge game. And also with the Phillies as a cheap favorite. They get it done for us last night as well. So a couple of winners, slight losing day. Hopefully we can get some of that back today. John, still been going well the last couple of weeks. How you doing today?
Today, not good. Back-to-back losing days. It's the first back-to-back losing days we've had in 2 weeks. Mike, just like Ben said, if it wasn't for the Mets, it'd be another winning day, but the Mets do what the Mets do. They ruin wet dreams. Anyway, always tough to win. You got a 10-4 day for the favorites yesterday. Again, always going to be tough for us to pull out a winning day when the faves go that heavy. I think it was one day last week. It was 11-4, but we just still managed to win, pulling out 3 of the 4 dogs that won. So yesterday, one of the dogs that won Houston, and we don't do it often, but we had a favorite yesterday. Had the Phillies. Again, we bet where there's value, not just dogs. Phillies had value yesterday. We talked about that. And excuse the allergies again, guys, just killing me. So a little bit of a losing day. Mets cost us. Hopefully they'll make it back up to us for today because that's already going to be your free bet. Let's talk about it, Ben.
Padres at Cardinals. First game here on this card. San Diego gets it done last night, 4-1 win. Not a horrible start for Wainwright, but this Cardinals offense right now, ice cold. They've scored 1 run per game their last 4, batting just 197, not getting it done. Lugo versus Thompson today. Lugo coming off a pair of gems, 12 shutout innings his last 2 starts. And that's against 2 teams they were trying to catch in the wild card. I think that dream's a little bit sold, but that was against Marlins in Arizona. And then Thompson, he was solid last 2 times out, 4 runs in 10 innings, 10 Ks, 2 walks. Just tough to back St. Louis right now. Bats aren't doing much. Obviously, Padres continue to be overpriced. This is just a game. Don't want to be any part of the home dog. No interest in this Cardinals team. Ice cold with the bats, not getting it done with the pitching. No interest here in St. Louis.
Yeah, overlay, of course. Padres, overnight line, my open one, minus 130 San Diego. You're looking at least minus 150 now. I see no value in laying San Diego. To me, it would have to be St. Louis, nothing but, and big but, I'm not touching St. Louis. Padres are hitting 219 over their last 4 games. They're still hitting 22 points higher than the Cardinals are hitting over their last 12. I mean, they're absolutely abysmal. 2.17 runs per game, hitting 197. I'll stay off this one.
Then we have Brewers at the Cubbies. Nice pitching matchup on this game. Probably pitching matchup of the card. Brewers get it done last night again. That makes it 9 in a row now. Now they have Burns versus Steele going today. Burns last time out roughed up for 6 runs. Prior to that, 7 shutout innings versus the Twins. 7 shutouts versus the Dodgers. And then you have Steele, who's going second in ERA, second in wins, 11-1 the Cubs are in his last 12 starts, and he's coming off a pair of quality starts. Pitching edge, going to give it to Steele with him being at home here. Burns coming off the rough outing. Burns still solid numbers on the road this year, 3.08 ERA. Slight pitching edge there. Great matchup. This is Brewers or nobody. Red hot right now. I think they're the hottest team in baseball. I understand what Seattle's doing, but Seattle's doing it against a lot easier opponents. Brewers have done this against, at the time, division-leading Texas, division-leading Minnesota, San Diego team. Seattle's been beating up on some of these lower-tier AL teams. This is Brewers or nobody for me in this spot.
It is, but it'd have to be a little higher for me. Steele's just been that good. What I will say is we've been saying all year how poorly Brewers have been doing against lefties. Well, in this latest surge, they've annihilated lefties. They've got that batting average up to 244 now against left-handed pitching. They were down in the 220s just a few weeks ago. So they're absolutely crushing the left-hand pitching right now. They're crushing all pitching. 7.11 runs per game and 289 over this winning streak. They're crushing the ball, but still gets the pitching advantage. A must game. If Cubs have any shot to get into to knock off the Brewers for first in the Central, they need this game. So if I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers and Burns, I need a little higher of a price.
Then we have Braves at Rockies. Ownership. 14-4 last night. If there was any spot in this series that made it appealing, it was with Gomber, who was going decent at home, with Braves coming off a Sunday night game, and it did not matter. Now won 11 of 12 meetings, all 5 this year, 54-16. Morton versus Lambert today. Morton does not have good numbers against the Rockies. 9 runs in 10 innings, last 2 starts. One of those earlier this year in Atlanta. This is Rockies or nobody if you want to look at a price, but it's actually just Braves on the run line or nothing here. Absolute ownership. Don't bucket. I like the over in this matchup. Got a lot of runs yesterday, obviously. Lambert, 6+ ERA. Like I said, Morton, bad numbers against Colorado. I expect the runs to continue here from both sides again tonight.
Well, look, it is Colorado, and Morton's had some struggles with them, but he's thrown 18 straight shutout innings, and Braves are just crushing the ball. They own Colorado. I got no interest in the home dog here. I'll pass.
Then we have Reds at San Francisco. Reds now dropped 4 or 5. They're still 4-4 on the trip. San Francisco, they won the last 2. Are they turning it back around? Then you have this Williamson versus Cobb pitching matchup. Williamson been solid last 4 starts, 2 of them quality starts, 2.25 ERA. Last time out, 6 shutout innings versus the D-backs. Cobb hasn't had a quality start since the beginning of June. Decent last time out, 2 runs in 5 innings. Really good at home, though. Only one home start in August. He's 4-2, 2.25 and 10 starts at home this year. He gets the pitching edge, nothing too drastic. You could say Williamson's going better right now. Just what Cobb's been doing at home this year has been terrific. Giants, big price here for San Francisco. They're not playing much better than Cincinnati. They have won the last couple of games here. This is Reds or nobody at this price. Just for the Reds right now, outside of beating up on a dead Angels team, they haven't done much on this trip. They haven't done much in general. They've been one of the colder teams in the second half, and they're not getting it done with the pitching. We'll see if Williamson can get it done for them tonight.
He's been good for them, Williamson. 6 shutout innings and a 3-2 loss at Arizona in that last series. He had a quality start against the Giants in July, where Cobb, he got cracked when he faced the Reds at Cincy. I'm going to give Williamson the pitching advantage in this one. I know all about Cobb's, how well he pitches at home. But guess what? San Fran is a pitcher's ballpark. Everybody pitches better at San Fran, as they usually do at Dodger Stadium. Since he faltered a little bit, as Ben said, besides beating the hopeless Angels that the Sharps have actually played again today, I don't know what they see in the Angels, but they lose 3 or 4 at Arizona, lose the opener last night. A big game for them tonight. Big injury blow to them last night. Matt McClain goes on the IL. He's been one of the hotter bats at Cincy. They're going to need to pick that up. Big game for them tonight. This is just a price bet here. We took plus 144 in this game. I just think it's too much. As bad as Cincy's been playing, San Fran, they steal the last game against Atlanta, against Schuster, a pitcher that Atlanta just brings up, and they got Abbott, who looks like he's been weak his last few times out. Other than that, they've been playing terrible ball. I'll take the price with Cincy.
Then we have Dodgers and Arizona. Dodgers get it done last night, 7-4. This is another great divisional pitching matchup. Kelly versus Kershaw. Kelly in August been terrific, 2.08 ERA in 5 starts. Last time out, held that Reds team to 1 hit and 7 shutout innings. 3 starts versus the Dodgers this year, been great, 1.17 ERA. Faced them earlier in August, 6 shutout innings. Kershaw had a rain delay his last start. That was his 3rd start back from the IL. 1 run in 2 innings there, got cut short. Prior to that, gave up 1 run in 5 innings in each of his prior 2 starts. He's been solid against the D-backs this year. Terrific at home, 5-1, 1.72. Kershaw, I'll give the slightest of pitching edges here just because I think Kelly's going to go farther in this game. But sub-2 ERA at home, you have to respect it. We'll see how far Kershaw has a leash in this one. And D-backs, big price here. They've been playing very good ball. They've lost 2 of 3 now, but still 10-3 their last 13. They're 5-6 in the season matchup, so they're not getting killed by the Dodgers this season. They're going toe-to-toe with them. Chance to even that back up 6-6 here in this one with Kelly on the mound. Big price here. This is D-backs or nobody.
Yeah, this price was huge this morning. Opened up minus 182 on the overnight. They pushed it up. This is what we call the phony. The Sharps manipulated while the market's small, not a lot of places. They can bet one way, push the number up. That's what they did. They took back which we took. We took plus 178 on the game. This game now down to about 164 or less, depending on your sports book. Tough to bet against Dodgers. They are on fire right now. The bats are killing it. But Kelly is pitching that good. All 5 starts in August, pitching great against the Dodgers. Now let's talk about Kershaw. And we said it the last time out. The Kershaw, right, the biggest thing that the Dodgers are going to do right now, especially with the news coming out, Gonsolin now going under Tommy John. So another pitcher down. He ain't going more. There's no way he's going more than 6 innings. I don't know if he'll even last 6 innings. His first couple of starts back, 5 innings. That last start actually was caused him only 2 innings because of a rain delay. There's no way that he'll be pitching into that game deep. So that's why I'll give Kelly the edge. He's been pitching great. This is a number play, guys. Do we expect Arizona to go into LA and beat the Red Hot Dodgers with Kershaw pitching? No. But I don't expect the Dodgers would win this game more than 60% of the time, which means that taking $1.50 would be the breakout point. We took $1.78. Hope you enjoyed the math class today. We're on the D-backs at plus 178.
That's what it is, guys. Just math. Then we have Yankees at Detroit. Yankees get it done last night. Sevy with a decent start there. They've now won 5 of 6 meetings. They won 5 of 6 meetings last year. They're 2-2 on this trip right now, 3-12 their last 15. And then this Tigers team just hitting a little bit of woes, 2-5 their last 7, batting .218. King versus Skewball. Skewball definitely gets the pitching edge here. He's coming off a rough out and gave up 4 runs in 6 innings versus the Cubs. Prior to that, did not give up an earned run at home. 2 starts versus the Yankees in 21, 4 runs in 9 innings. King going to be a bit of an opener here. Going to go a little bit longer than your typical opener, 2 to 3 innings. Last time as an opener, 1 unearned run in 2 2/3 versus Washington. This is a slight lean to Detroit here. Yankees success in the matchup. Not interested in backing them in a bullpen game. Didn't really get it going too much with the bats last night. Just held Detroit down to 1 run. This is a Tigers team I'm not looking to lay as a favorite, but I have no interest in the Yankees bullpen game. So slide as a leans here to Detroit. Maybe best plays the under here. 2 offenses not getting it done with the bats.
Not getting it done. Judge busted 0 for 17 slide yesterday with a homer. Homers come in bunches. That's how they usually happen. He had 4 in 2 games earlier last week. Expect the Yankees to get it going again. They hit lefties better, hitting .252 versus lefties. Screwball, actually, obviously a lefty, as opposed to .222 versus right-handed pitches. I make the line right where it's supposed to be. Obviously, Screwball gets the pitching advantage over a Yankee bullpen game, but not enough that I want to be laying a price. Not so much that I want to be taking the Yankees, but again, expect the Yankees to put some on the board against Screwball, who's been really good at home. Tough spot for him, though. The Yankees may turn it around a little bit. I don't expect an explosion, but just enough to keep the offensively challenged Tigers, stay in the game with the offensively challenged Tigers. They're 28th in scoring for the year.
Then we have White Sox at Baltimore. Baltimore, big win last night, 9-0. They blank them. They took 2 of 3 back in Chicago back in April. This is a series just Baltimore really needs each and every win. Without Bautista here, you got to put these games out in a way like they did last night. Don't even let it come down to the bullpen late. And they have an opportunity to do that again today. It's absolute pitching mismatch. Schultz versus Creamer. Schultz's last 2 starts, 10 runs, 3 homers, and 8 2/3. That's against some bottom-tier teams in Oakland and Colorado. And then you have Creamer going, who has been terrific. 11-2 the Ozarks last 13 starts, 2.59 ERA in August, 6 shutout innings his last time out. This is Orioles on the run line or nothing. These are absolute must-need games here. Try to stay away and pull away further from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, not much to add what Ben said. You got a shit-ass team playing. The team has got the best record in the American League. That's got to get wins. Tampa Bay hot on their heels. The price of what are we looking at? We're looking at $2.20 basically right now. That's where the price belongs. No value in the White Sox here. Now it's Sultan's pitching.
Then we have Astros at Boston. Another interesting young pitching matchup. France versus Bayo. Now, last time they met earlier this week, France crushed 10 runs in 2 1/3, 11 hits in that 17-1 loss. Prior to that was on a nice run. He's been great on the road this year, 5-2, 1.92 ERA in 9 outings. Obviously, Fenway, just a bit different of a road stadium, so we'll see how that treats him. Then you have Bayo going. He's been solid. He's coming off a pair of quality starts. Last time versus the Astros, only 1 run in 7 innings, but did give up 9 hits in that outing. It's still lean to the Astros, and it's really tough to do that looking at that last start that France just had against Red Sox. Just like there was a revenge factor for Houston yesterday, there's absolutely a revenge factor for France. Talks about it on the podcast on Friday. Sometimes when you see these pitching matchups where they see each other twice in a row, very rarely do you see them get demolished twice in a row. Very interested to see a guy like Bayo have 2 quality starts in a row. He got hit up last time. This would be a lean here to France and the Astros. Trying to wrap my head around if I want to back a guy who just got crushed for 10 runs by the same team earlier this week. But Astros at dog money here, third best team on the road in the league, would be them or nobody here for me.
Houston or nobody. Houston winning their last 3 games, scoring 39 runs with 57 hits. They'll look at Bayo for the second time in a row. They didn't get too much off him as far as runs, but they had 9 hits off him in 7 innings in that game. I expect more of the same. The question is, can France, will he have PTSD walking into Fenway after getting shellacked his last time out? It's Houston or nobody. We'll see where the lines are in the lineups later in the day.
Then we have Guardians at Twins. Twins get it done last night. High-scoring matchup, 10-6 win there. Prior to that, 6 of 7 meetings did go under. They've split 8 meetings this season. Cleveland 2-2 on the trip, scoring 6 runs per game, 4-8 their last 12. And this Twins team now scoring 7.6 runs per game. They've won 4 of 5, 14-5 at home since the break. Good pitching matchup. Williams versus Lopez. Both guys coming off rough outings, though. Williams, he was crushed by the Dodgers. Prior to that, was really solid in August. And then you have Lopez going, who was crushed for 5 runs, 10 hits, 5 innings by Texas. Prior to that, allowed 1 run in 4 starts. We'll note that only one of those 4 starts was at home. That was against Pittsburgh. He does have worse home numbers this year, 4.62 ERA in 12 starts. That last one against Texas was at home. This is a slight lean here to Cleveland for me. You're getting dog money in the matchup. Talked about that yesterday. But then you look furthermore at the home struggles a little bit for Lopez. He did have a home start versus Cleveland earlier this year, gave up 6 runs in 5 2/3, coming off a rough home start. Like I said, that one decent one against a Pittsburgh offense, not lighting things up here. And Williams, yes, coming off a horrible start prior to that was great. And much like the Braves, not going to hold him too much for getting roughed up by the Dodgers. This is Cleveland or nobody for me.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday that Cleveland had 7 games left prior to yesterday's game to make up some ground on the Twins. Man, as I said yesterday, even if they were to take 5 of the 7, being 6 games out to start the day yesterday, but it'll still leave them -3 games. Well, now they got to win 5 of the next 6 to get there. I think Cleveland's been a dead team since the trade deadline. They were sellers instead of buyers. They were a half or 1 game out just a couple of days before the deadline when they started unloading Savali, Bell. I think they were a dead team. I think Toronto took the extra inning game at Toronto Sunday, took whatever they had left out of them. Good pitching matchup, but I'm going to give Lopez the advantage here. Lopez was pitching ridiculous before getting hit by Texas. You get hit by Texas, it's not a major crime. Texas, one of your top hitting teams, but he'd been pitching phenomenal baseball. Give him a better chance over the rookie Williams in this game. I'm not advocating laying the Twins, just see no value in the Guardians today.
Then we have A's at Seattle. You guys know the story here. Mariners all 8 meetings this season, 44-13. They've outscored them. A's have lost 3 straight, scored just 3 runs. And Seattle, 12 of 13. They've won 20-4 their last 24. Hottest team in the league. You got Waldichuk versus Kirby. Complete pitching mismatch. Waldichuk, 5 runs in 5 innings his last time out. Kirby has not been pitching well his last 2 outings. 7 runs, 16 hits, 11 2/3. That's against bottom tier teams, too. That's against KC and Chicago, your second and third worst AL teams. Now you get Oakland as your chicken soup to try to make it better. Still, pitching mismatch, team mismatch, ownership trends. You're looking at Seattle on the run line or nothing here. No interest in the dog in this matchup.
To add to Kirby, he's a couple of rough outings that he's had the last couple of times out. And he got the A's got 3 runs off him in 7 innings. So you say it's still a quality stop. Yeah, but that's still an over 3-something ERA. Also last year, just 1-0 against them with a 4.43 ERA in 4 starts. All of that said and done, still Kirby best K to walk ratio, 142-14. Let me say that again. 142 Ks to 14 walks. That's over a 10-1 K to walk ratio. I love that. You've got the hottest team in baseball. They're just crushing the ball. So not only hot winning 12 of 13, Mariners scoring 7.46 runs per game, batting .327. It's over 13 game span. And it's a big sample size against your worst team in baseball. Oakland A's were one of the worst pitchers in baseball. That's why Seattle's a 3-1 favorite. No interest in the dog.
We have Rays at Miami, Savali versus Alcantara. Rays, they've won 6 of 7. Marlins, they've lost 6 of 8. Rays offense red hot, scoring over 7 a game. Marlins being held to 1.8 runs per game. Two teams going different directions here. Savali versus Alcantara. Savali so far with Tampa, 3.54 ERA. Has been better on the road this year, 1.86 ERA. Alcantara, 3.03 ERA in August. Gave up 4 runs his last time out in 6 2/3. Prior to that, pair of quality starts. He had the complete game, 1 run against Tampa Bay back in July. They won that one. Other than that, Rays have owned this matchup 20 of 22 meetings prior to that. This is a weird game here. The read initially for me was Miami at -110. This number's gone far here, or not far, but it's moved up from that. And that takes away the liking on it. Still, my lean is to the Marlins here. These teams at this point in the season, when you're in this wild card race, you have the ace on the mound. Those are just absolute must-win games. We'll see if Sandy can go ahead and get it done with another complete game. They're going to need at least 7 or 8 from him today to pull this one off. This is, for me, slightly in here to the Marlins, but that number's getting away from us.
Yeah, Ben, I'm looking at it the other way. Since throwing that complete game last month against the Rays, he put together 3 or 4 quality starts from that time on. His last 2, though, he's given up 7 runs in 12 2/3 innings. Granted, there were road games at the Dodgers and at San Diego. But when we thought he was making that turn that corner back to last year, Cy Young Sandy, all of a sudden the last couple, maybe not so much. The way the Marlins are hitting, or not hitting, should we say, 1.88 runs per game, hitting 208 in that time span, while Rays are putting up over 7.5 runs a game, 301 over their last 7 games. Unless he pitches a fucking no-hitter, can't give them a chance in this game. Rays own the matchup. 20-3 the last 23 matchups. They're hot again. Tampa Bay's turned that corner again. They've had kind of an up and down season. The last with losing McClanahan and Franco to the legal issues, but they're back on track again. They own this team. I don't see Alcantara throwing another masterpiece against them. If Diaz is in, he's missed the last 2 games. Diaz, 4th in Major League Baseball in batting average. If he's in, price is at least plus a dime. I'd be interested in the Rays.
We had the Angels at the Phillies. Phillies, one of the winners from last night. Angels 2-2 on the trip. They've lost 6 of 8. And then you have this Phillies team. They've won 6 of 7. 2 teams opposite direction right now. Anderson versus Lorenzen. Anderson, brutal in August, 0-3, 7.36. Was tagged by the Phillies for 7 runs last year. And Lorenzen, since the no-hitter, 11 runs, 16 hits, 3 homers against the Giants and the Nats. Did have a decent start against the Angels back in July, but he did pitch for them last year. This is a weird game here. Like John said earlier today, the Sharps are betting the Angels. Lorenzen need this price a lot lower to get on him since the no-hitter. Maybe this is his, chicken soup game, gets back on track here. No interest in laying the Angels. I mean, what they're doing right now just can't back them. They've been 2 teams trending different directions, part of why we were on Philly yesterday. Still, not jumping out of my seat to back Lorenzen with what he's done the last 2 starts. Could be a bit of an over game here with his pitching matchup. We'll see if the Angels are able to get to Lorenzen at all.
Yeah, I don't like what Lorenzen's done since the no-hitter, and you guys know usually we're jumping on the opposite team after a pitcher throws a no-hitter. Just takes a lot out physically and mentally. That being said, Anderson has been even worse than Lorenzen his last outings, and at least Philly is hitting, and that's an understatement. Scoring almost 7 runs a game, hitting .315 on this homestand, while Angels scoring 3.5 runs a game, hitting just .227 on this road trip. So we talk about pitching mismatches all the time. This is a hitting mismatch. Phillies riding high, Angels terrible. Worst team in Major League Baseball since August 7 and 18. Philly and nobody, but again, would have to be a lower number. Like yesterday, they brought it down ridiculously low. We laid 125 on that game. Right now, this game is still up at around 155, so it'd have to come down a little lower. No interest in the Angels.
The Nats at Blue Jays. Nats, one of the losers last night. Blue Jays get it down 6-3 win. Washington now dropped their last 2, scoring just 2 runs per game. Still 4-3 on the trip, 11-5 their last 16. Toronto, they've won 2 of 3, but they've dropped 4 of their last 6. just 500 at home since the All-Star break. Gore versus Berrios. Gore coming off a rough start against the Yankees. Prior to that, 6.1 shutout innings against the Sox. And then you have Berrios, who's been brutal so far in August, 0-2, 5.06 his last 3 starts. Last time out, 5 runs versus Baltimore. This is, again, Nats or nobody. I mean, the story doesn't change here with the Nats. They dropped their last 2. Bats cooled off those last couple of games, but you look at Toronto being a 500 home team since the break. Yes, Berrios gets the pitching edge, but not enough to make it this price. This is Nats or nobody. Still playing over the last month and a half some of the best baseball outside the Dodgers, Seattle, Milwaukee. You're looking at Nationals right there in that 4-5 spot as far as best teams this past month.
Numbers, guys. It's just a number bet here. Toronto has been overpriced every day since going back in the series at Baltimore. If you remember, we were on Baltimore pretty much that whole series. We were on Cleveland Sunday against them at plus 200. We were on Nats against them last night, which to me was a ridiculous line. Yeah, Toronto got the money in that one last night, but again, doesn't affect what the line is. So while Toronto's been an overpriced team for the last 10 days, Washington's been undervalued on the road all season long, just short of 500 on the road. While Gray got lit up last night, they did their job with the bats. They got 3 runs off Guzman in 5 innings. That's usually going to keep you in the game. It didn't last night. Again, got to hold your nose with Gore. This is, first of all, Toronto does hit lefties well. But you got Gold Glove, Matt Chapman. He was placed on the IL. Bichette missed the game yesterday. Questionable again today. He leads the team in hitting, especially if he sits. Yesterday, the line was much bigger. It was worth a 2-unit bet because they also had without their closer. Today, I made it a 1-unit bet. I took Nats plus 180 on this one.
We have the Rangers at the Mets. Mets blow it last night. 1 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. That's one of our losers that swung our night. Texas, they've now won 2 of 3, but still 2-9 their last 11. And then you have this Mets team now who's been pretty ice cold. They've lost 5 of 6, scoring just 2 runs per game. Heaney versus Quintana. Quintana's been the one bright spot for the Mets, and they're still not getting it done in his starts. Last time out was roughed up, 5 runs and 5 1/3, but against the best offense in baseball, Atlanta, can't hold that against him. Prior to that, 5 straight quality starts. Heaney, last 3 starts, 7 runs, 17 hits, 9 1/3. Not going far in these games at all. I mean, 3 starts, 9 1/3. That's just brutal. 1 start last year versus the Mets, 3 runs, 2 earned in 5 innings. Quintana gets the pitching edge. Sure, Rangers can have the team edge, but just 2-9 their last 11. Nothing too drastic. Not enough to make up for this price. You're looking at a home dog or nothing.
Yeah, a home dog or nothing. And it's tough to bet the Mets, especially after they just let one slip away yesterday. You take a 3-0 lead, then you're 3-1 going into the 8th, and then you just feel it coming little by little. But today you've got Haney pitching, as Ben said. 17 hits in 9 1/3 over his last 3. 4 1/3 is his longest stint of those 3 outings. 1 quality start since going way back until, was it May? May 27th. Quintana, yeah, crushed by Atlanta. Atlanta slaughtered his lefties. We knew they'd slaughter Quintana. Other than that, pitched real good baseball for them. If they were in a playoff race like they thought they'd be, he would have been a nice acquisition. But pitching good baseball, I'm giving him the pitching advantage over Haney.
Oh, yeah.
So with Texas, look, Mets stink. You know, I affectionately call them the Mutts in my preview. So they're horrible. But Texas, just 8-16, their last 24 on the road. So we're giving Quintana the pitching advantage. Texas not playing much better than the Mets. Had to take this price as the home dog. We'll hopefully the Mets can repay us for yesterday's blunder.
Then we have Pirates at Kansas City to wrap up this card. I wanted Kansas City today, but this price is outrageous. You have Reagans and the Royals here as minus 150 favorites. Reagans, he's been terrific. 4 of his last 5 starts, quality starts, 2.12 ERA, 6 shutout innings, 11 Ks, no walks against Oakland his last time out. Pirates going over the bullpen game. Selby going to be the opener here. Pittsburgh, they've lost 4 of 6. Kansas City, they've lost 8 of 9. I was hoping to get a decent price here with the Royals. I cannot make the Royals this big of a favorite, even though it's a pitching mismatch against the bullpen game. Big price here. This could only be Pirates or nobody. KC doesn't deserve to be this number of anybody.
No. They're hitting 173 this week. They've scored just 4 runs in their last 3 games. Even if Reagans gives you a dominant performance, you got to put a couple on the board to win. Granted, this will be a bullpen game for Pirates. We'll look to see the lineups in this one. Last night, you had Garcia sit out for KC and Reynolds sit out for the Pirates. These are 2 teams that are going nowhere. Playing out the string, you always want to see the lineups. We'll see where the line is in the lineups, but no way in the world can the second worst team in baseball be this big a favorite when they're not even scoring runs right now.
No, absolutely. That's the Tuesday card, guys. As you guys know, coming off a tough beat last night that ruined a winning night. Hopefully we can get things back on track today. I didn't mention this at the start, but like, comment, subscribe. As always, on Friday is going to be doing the $100 giveaway. So make sure you guys continue to engage on the Instagram and on the YouTube throughout the week. Going to have a little NFL video out there later today. So if you guys could help pull up the engagement on that as well, that would be appreciated. John, I don't know if you have anything else to add there. We got some winners to hopefully get to today.
We got 4 dogs so far. We'll see if we hit any more. Should be a better day today. They owe us some.
Yeah.
Owe us some. Let's see if we get paid back.
Yep. If you guys want all those bets, howtobeatthebookie.com or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's make some money, John.